Welcome to the Little League World Series on ESPN from Westfield, Indiana. We're in the Midwest Regional tonight. Fargo, North Dakota, 15-1 winner in its opening game against Des Moines, Iowa. The Iowa Little League All-Stars playing in their very first game. To date, here are the standings and games that continue to be pretty one-sided. Coon Rapids, Minnesota has dominated its two opponents. Fargo trying to join in the semifinals of this double elimination round with a win tonight. Greetings, Jim Barber and John Gregory. Matt Coonert not here tonight. He's the Iowa manager. He has been suspended for one game for inappropriate behavior during the Iowa State Finals. So his assistant coaches will take over. In the meantime, they take over a team, John, that has dominated the Iowa State tournament. The question everybody's wondering, how good are they?
Yeah, well, they just swept through there, outscored their opponents 63-12. And talking with their coaches before this ball game, they have a lot of confidence. They feel like they have some power arms in that dugout that can hold some guys down, and they're a power hitting team as well. So should be exciting to watch them tonight.
Now, through one game, John, we already know how good North Dakota is. Pounding out 15 runs, 12 hits, recipients of 10 walks, and batting .413 and still leaving 10 people on base.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, you wonder how the Iowa team's going to be. Well, we know how good this Fargo team is offensively, as they were able to deliver hit after hit yesterday, and up and down this lineup. This team is very athletic, and they are deep.
And a true manager, Mike Rariga, saying, you know what, we can still do better. We can't leave as many on base. North Dakota, the visiting team, will bat first. Their lineup upon our return. Iowa managing by committee tonight. Danny Watson and Josh Stewart both agree that Brody Watson can throw it. In fact, they think he could hit 80 on the gun tonight. And he's going to face a North Dakota potent lineup that'll want to send the ball back out as quickly as it comes in.
Yeah,
John.
No question about that. But I'm excited to see him on the mound, too, just because of what the coaches had to say about his ability to throw the fastball in here. Now, he's got a cutter, too, as well, that he can feature tonight. But when you mention guys throwing in the mid-70s, he has got the size to do it out there, just like his dad did in the past. So we'll see what he's got against a very impressive lineup.
He's going to face the Leininger gang right off the top, who combined for 5 runs scored, 4 hits, and 2 ribbies in the first game. Then Connor Holm, Drew Rarick, the pitcher. Charlie Kalberner batting 5th, and Landon Meyer, Andrew Kankerfritz, Bomeyer, and Tommy Simon. 8 kids that can hit. Game 4 underway. And Adam Leininger nearly got hit. So what's important for Brody Watson with that speed here in the first inning, John?
Well, I think what's important is that he doesn't overthrow. You know, you've got the ability, you're pumped up, your first outing out here. You got to settle into that job on the mound.
2 pitches inside, and Adam Leininger, who did a great job of getting on base, despite the fact he didn't have a hit in the first game. Had a couple of walks, and now has a 2-0 count. Ball 3. Adam and his twin brother to follow, Jordan, are identical twins. And we'll tip you off as to how you can tell who Jordan is. He's likely got red shoes on. Three balls, no strikes. Great to have you with us tonight on a sunshine evening. Adam Leininger has walked 3 times now in the regional. Here comes Jordan with the red shoes, as expected.
Now, Mike Rarick, the manager for this Fargo team, told us his guys are going to have patience at the plate. They did yesterday, loaded the bases early in their game. Although they scored a lot of runs, they left a lot of guys on base too. So they want to have productive outs tonight and see if they can't get runs early.
Left the bases loaded in each of the first 3 innings, despite putting on an offensive show. Winning 15-1. Winner of this game gets Minnesota Wednesday morning. And a strike. First one of the game for Brody Watson, the Broadster.
Yep, maybe that settles him down a bit. Can tell he's a guy out there. You watch that first. Watch his reaction emotionally. I always like to see that quickly, how he can handle situations. That's a good-looking breaking ball there.
And the change has him ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, how about that yesterday? We saw guys that can throw really hard, sometimes will overthrow, so what do? Go to the breaking ball. Maybe that settles him down, tries to slow the arm down just a bit.
1 out. Connor Holm would be next, followed by Drew Rarick.
And he got him with the breaking ball again. All the talk of the fastball, the 2 best pitches he's thrown right now are breaking balls.
Connor Holm, 3 for 3, John. 3 runs scored, an RBI, a couple of walks. Perfect on-base percentage through 1 game. He's the first baseman for North Dakota, batting 3rd. So what happens when a pitcher overthrows early in the game with all that velocity? Is it the fact they've just forgotten about their other pitches?
No, I think they just know that that's why they've always had success throughout the year. When they're playing their regular season, they can get guys out by just throwing that fastball. And then you get in the situation, your first regional, just like some guys that pitch in the All-Star game, maybe try to overthrow just a little bit. Same thing with these young guys out here. So once they settle in and get that first out, it's like taking that first hit in football that we talk about so much.
One, 2. He's up on the gun right now.
Okay, he's convinced me.
Didn't take long, did it?
No, that's a pretty impressive breaking ball he has, and he comes back with the fastball. That almost looked like a little bit of a slider in there, because when they describe his fastball and the movement on it, it's a short, mound to home plate here, but there's still some movement, and he gets that, those righties that can throw hard will get that ball riding in on these right-handed hitters.
Danny Watson, his father and one of the coaches, said that ball will move. It's not just something that comes in with a lot of speed. It will tail away and make it impossible at times to hit. And strikes are a best friend of an umpire early in the game. Home plate umpire John Budnick. John Chirilla at first, Rex Fogel second. Jeff Shuttle, the third base umpire. Two balls and a strike. Charlie Kalbrunner bats next. On the change, runner hung up between first and second. But back in is Adam Leininger. Now the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Drew Rarick 0 for 3 yesterday, but had 2 walks, an RBI, scored a run. Runner on the move, throw down to second is not in time. Stolen base, Adam Leininger now in scoring position.
Gooder behind the plate, not a big guy, but a nice throw to second base. Leininger gets in there safely with a nice slide, but interesting the size of the guy on the mound beside the guy behind the plate. It'll be tough to catch a guy that's throwing this hard.
Oh yes, 2 walks in the inning now, along with 2 strikeouts. Charlie Kalbrunner, the third baseman, batting 5th. 1 for 2. Actually had RBIs yesterday, 3 for the game, 1 on a hit bat spin, another on a walk, both with the bases loaded. Up in a scoring situation here. Two strikes. 20 pitches in the first inning. So far, Brody Watson as good as advertised. Strikes out the side, and of 21 pitches, 13 were in the zone. First Jordan Leininger, and then Connor Holm, and finally Charlie Kalbrunner. Iowa to bat in the last of the first. We've already seen Iowa's Brody Watson. Now what can Drew Rarick do out there, John, in the bottom of the first?
Well, he's going to be a guy the same way. He's going to be sitting there in the low 60s or low 70s, up mid 60s, fastball, curveball out there. But 2 guys that throw it pretty good tonight. Going to be a good battle out on the mound. This should be a pretty interesting game. Just like I was interested to see how this Iowa team would be on the mound when they talked about their power. They also talk about their lineup to be the same way, too, with a lot of power, especially at the top part of this thing.
Connor Duwong will lead off. He is one of several Iowa pitchers. He will lead the lineup. That consists of Maddox O'Connor, Blake Larson, and Brody Watson, Alex Stewart, Kobe Kunert, Braden Shutt, Jay Sembry, and Matthew McCray Jr. First pitch strike. CD, Connor Duwong at the plate. Loves the Grandview Little League field in Iowa. Says he can speak a little Vietnamese. But he also has informed us he's an awful joke teller. So we will not rely on him for any levity here.
Well, you've been good all day.
Yeah. I don't want to give up the position. Last of 4 games today, 4 more, weather permitting, tomorrow. Strikeout number 1 for Drew Rarick.
We've seen a lot of good high-scoring games out there. We're going to get our first look at a nice low-scoring game with some good pitching out there. Start of this game is showing that right now as you see a nice breaking ball for that strikeout.
Little history in the Maddox-O'Connor family. As he tells us that his great-great-grandfather, Walter O'Connor, signed with the Cardinals back in the day. Waits the pitch from Drew Rarick. Rarick has bounced a couple, but Iowa's still swinging. Overly aggressive, or is that pitch just dropping?
Well, that's part of a nice breaking ball that you fool, and maybe the same thing, that over-aggressiveness we were talking about on the mound. It's your first time at the plate here. You want to get up there and get your swings, and this team's been dying to get out there and do it.
Back-to-back strikeouts. Now the first baseman, Blake Larson, with 2 outs in the first.
Now back for Iowa. First baseman,
there's that ball up around the chest area again. Can't get on top of it. So enticing, but you'll swing through and miss most of the time.
Matt Cooner, the manager who is not in attendance tonight, says about Blake Larson, he's got the best swing on this team. Takes a home run cut there. Where's number 77? Brody Watson, if we get that far, to follow.
Well, one thing, when you read the bios of this Iowa team, there's no holding back. These guys are confident.
Toward third base. Charlie Kalbrunner with the assist. Well pitched inning on both sides. To the North Dakota second, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters.
No runs, no hits, nobody left. Pitch count for North Dakota is Drew Rarick, 9.
I would take a pitcher's duel tonight. Yeah. What was that again? Can we show it?
You know what? I fall right in line with that.
Yeah, is this Easton Stick? I can't tell. Okay, and where's he at there? I'm trying to remember. Is he in the back? Okay. That's Easton, isn't it? Or Easton? Okay. Easton Stick, back row, green sweatshirt. Starring for North Dakota State in football, having won yet another national championship. That's 6 in the last 7 years. Paid a visit to Fargo, North Dakota's Little League football area. Actually, in the case of this situation, it was the baseball team, but these are all football fans.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Got a big kick out of Easton, and he told the team, he said, you know, we had a game with James Madison one time, which we didn't play well. We lost. We got on the bus. I got over it quickly. I came back the next time and beat them. He said, you're going to have ups and downs in this tournament. If you can deal with it, you'll be okay. Landon Meyer retired to start the North Dakota second, 1 out.
Great message. Bounce back from adversity.
North Dakota,
you know, when you expect to win and you don't, live to play another day. That's a really good message to those kids, and they're right. That Fargo team, or North Dakota State, fun to watch. Great atmosphere in that dome.
You have done a game there, so have I.
Yes.
In the playoffs, no less. Andrew Kankelfritz, 1 for 2. Checked that 2 for 3 yesterday, and a triple. How important is it for North Dakota with the speed of Brody Watson to get bat on ball, just like Landon Meyer did moments ago?
Pretty important. You know, you got to, even as their coaches were talking before, they'll get lucky every once in a while. Somebody makes some great contact, ball get out of the yard. But right now, trying to put pressure on a defense, just get a bat on the ball is key.
Watson just missing, strikeout number 4.
You see the catcher there, Kobe behind the plate, just standing. Not a tall guy at all, so when he wants it up in the strike zone, all he has to do is stand up.
2 outs in the second inning. In fact, they brought Brody Watson and Kobe Coonert over to us, and there's a sizable difference between the two.
Yes.
Number 11, right fielder,
Another good
Meyer.
pitch on the outside corner. You know, when you look at the bio of Brody Watson, they talk about his stupid strength. And that kid is put together. I mean, you don't see, I mean, he looks like a linebacker. When you shake his hand, it feels like it. I mean, they talk about his power and strength. That's where it comes from. I mean, this kid is strong.
Good change up there, strike 2. Now 1-2. 21 pitches in the first inning, just 8 here in the second. And plenty of strikes. Brody Watson, strikeout number 5. How about Brody in the first 2, John?
Pretty tough. That breaking ball looks good. All the talk about that fastball. But watch this. The big cutter.
He gets the lead off, the Iowa second.
How about that matchup, Mason?
Yes, good luck, Grandview Little League. Based out of Des Moines, Iowa, population close to 250,000. That is the largest city in Iowa. You might remember Kyle Orton went on to the National Football League and started Purdue, leading the Boilermakers to a top 5 ranking and an undefeated partial season under Joe Tiller a few years back.
Leading off the home half of the second inning for Iowa, the pitcher.
Here's Brody Watson.
Brody Watson
has 5 strikeouts in the game so far. Now at the plate. And legend has it, he cranked one recently, 350 feet?
At least 300, but we talked about his strength. He's got it at the plate, too. We'll see.
Now, John, did I qualify that after hearing from the Iowa coaches? Did that get me off the hook in case it's not
That's
actually
right. Yes, you did.
accurate?
Yes, you did. That's why I'm trying to qualify everything they said because of the confidence that they said it in about these players. Think about it. They talk about Watson's ability on the mound. They said he's not the only guy that can throw it in the mid-70s. We have about 4 guys that can do that. And if that's the case, that's what you need to find your way to the Little League World Series.
By the way, after this battle, let's take a look at the coaches for Iowa because this is kind of unique with the suspension of Matt Coonert. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Watson checks out. Time called. That's Josh Stewart down at third base. He is one of the assistant coaches. And at first base, Danny Watson is required to be in the dugout at all times. There has to be a coach. So that's not an adult there. That's Gabe Schutzer, who gets to serve as the first base coach for 4 or 5 innings, but he is not allowed to give any kind of hand signals.
We asked him about that. He's going to be flashing, and he said, no, not going to be the case unless they decided in the dugout they wanted to do something.
I think Drew Rarick feels challenged by Brody Watson tonight. What do you think?
I think so, and he's up to the challenge so far.
Yeah, with
Yes, taste of his own medicine there. Got the ball inside. Not able to turn on it. Watson frustrated, goes back to the dugout and get ready to go back out on the bump.
Alex Stewart now to the plate. A comebacker. Rarick to first base by a step. 2 outs. And Drew has retired 5 straight. Well, we are deserving and due for a pitcher's duel in this tournament. We have not had any to this point.
Yep, but that's the pitcher's friend right there. And I say friend because 1 pitch out is nice. It just saves on the pitch count. You can see a total of 16 right now.
That's a healthy number. Colby Kunert, the catcher. Max Kunert, the manager, not here tonight, is watching on his ESPN app. He will join the team after tonight's suspension. Ball and a strike. Back of the uniform reads Lil Coon, L-I-L-K-O-O-N. Because of his dad, he's been at Little League since he could walk.
So just loves the game, just like his dad, too. That's what they were saying. Lives for it.
He was asked in his bio, what was your best moment? And he says, state championship. Duh. In 2 innings, Drew Rarick has been perfect. Hops off the field, 4 strikeouts. And through 2 innings, we got a dandy to this point. Brody Watson of Iowa versus Drew Rarick of North Dakota. Actually, we got pictures of him back in the hotel and everything. Are you sure? Iowa pitcher Brody Watson has struck out 5 in the first 2 innings. What impresses you the most about this, John?
Well, since that first walk, what impressed me about his strikes is able to command the fastball and the breaking ball there, too. I like the way he gets that separation. Not a big high leg kick for him, But once he gets those arms, that right arm separated from the glove, he really gets extension and powers through.
Brody Watson says if he ever wins the lottery, first and foremost on the opportunity to spend lots of money, he will buy season tickets to Wrigley Field.
That's a good spin. I like that.
Yeah, good choice. Tommy Simon starts the North Dakota third. This is a team that had 15 runs in its first game. Shut out through 2 and has struck out 5 times. After Simon back to the top of the lineup and the second time through, what might we see from Fargo that we didn't see the first time?
Well, that's a good question. You know, you usually once you settle down, once you see a guy, but this guy's a little special, just like the guy on the mound for this Fargo team as well. Be tough to get to these guys, and sometimes if you don't get to them early, it's really difficult. These type of guys, you better score early. If not, they settle down, and I'm talking about both starters tonight.
Brody Watson now with 3 consecutive strikeouts and 6 for the game.
Number 9, Adam Leininger.
Back to the top, Adam Leininger walked on 4 pitches. That was a completely different Brody Watson in the first inning. Leonard got as far as second base after stealing. Second time through now for North Dakota, facing Brody Watson. Comebacker, 1 hop, 2 outs. Now Jordan Leininger, who struck out in the first.
Now batting for North Dakota, number 7, the center fielder, Jordan Leininger.
You got that?
Here's Jordan, who lists as one of his great moments something that happened in football, where he caught a touchdown in the end zone on a tip pass. Pretty hard to forget. Change, strike 1, pretty pitch.
Well, here's kind of a matchup here that you like to see, power versus power. 20 home runs on the year for Jordan.
Out of the zone, 2 strikes and nothing. After Brody Watson fell behind Adam Leininger and then walked Drew Rarick, he has retired 6 straight. He has struck out 4 of those 6. And through 3 innings, he's got a no-hitter. To the Iowa third, Braden Shutt, Jake Embry, Matthew McCray. They'll try to solve Drew Rarick for the first time. Focused on fun, fitness, and fundamentals, the Little League journey starts with T-ball. Visit littleleague.org/T-ball for our free 10-week practice plan to keep the youngest Little Leaguers moving, having fun, learning the games of baseball and softball. Jim Barber, John Gregory, 40 pitches for Brody Watson through 3, and Drew Rarick, 21 through 2.
Leading off the bottom of the third for Iowa, right fielder number 6, Braden Shutt.
The right fielder, Braden Shutt. As coaches say, when you talk to him, it's like talking to an adult. And with the high bunt, gets strike one, his first home run of the year, a grand slam.
Take a look at the bat angle here. You talk about dragging a bunt. You don't normally see it above your head like that. You talk about getting the ball down. That's about the toughest angle you could possibly get.
Charlie Kalbrenner and Connor Holm are aware they're in at third and first base. Well, it certainly has the feel of a one-run game, does it not?
Yeah.
So why not try to bunt your way on? Drew Rarick has retired the Iowa side in order twice, striking out 4. Brody Watson of Iowa has retired the North Dakota side twice in order and has struck out 7. Neither team with a hit. Again, the 1-2. Off the change. Out number 1, strikeout number 5, Drew Rarick.
Nice hack right here. Watch this thing. Throws it right over the top, 12 o'clock to 6. Now, we've seen some breaking balls that are side to side, some spinners up there. Not his. I mean, he's got that nice over-the-top delivery, pulls down on it, and gets some really good snap and depth on that breaking ball.
This is Jace Embry. Jace James Embry. Favorite movie is Benchwarmers. Favorite song, Center Field, of which we heard prior to tonight's matchup in the Midwest Regional.
Rarick is impressive with the breaking ball. He's got that fastball that's got really good pop on it, and because of that, that makes that breaking ball even that much better.
2 outs in the third. He has mowed down 8 straight.
Keeping guys off balance, you get them thinking breaking ball, and that's where that fastball will sneak by you.
Matthew McCray Jr.
This almost feels like a semifinal or a championship game, John.
Yeah, the way these two guys are battling out on the mound, and that's what it takes. And to win the championship, you need to have guys like Rarick on the mound that can help you win it.
Instead, for Iowa, it's a first game. The winner gets Minnesota. I imagine Coon Rapids Little League is paying a lot of attention to this game. Tomorrow, 4 more games on ESPN. They are all elimination games. Base hit right field, first hit of the game. Matthew McCray spanked it. Beat any potential throw to first. Gets a low 5 from his first base coach, Gabe Schutzer. And Iowa turns over the lineup with 2 outs here in the third.
McCray not a big guy, but he gets the fastball right up on the plate, too, and delivers it out to right field. Hustles down the first base line because Bo Meyer was playing short out in right field. Happened to me in Little League. I was thrown out as a left-handed hitter by the right fielder and never was so embarrassed. You never want that to happen to you, but it does, depending on where they're playing out there, or in my case, how slow you can be down the first base line.
My story in Post Little League is I broke up a no-hitter to right field. over one of the league's fastest pitchers. I had no hits going into it. And they tried to throw me out of first base with my blazing speed. No chance. And basically was hoisted on people's shoulders afterwards. I think I might have been very easily the worst player on the team. The change out in front, no, it's going to be a foul ball.
Now, funny, you and I talking about that. There's people sitting in the stands watching back at home or wherever you're watching. They're thinking the same thing. I remember that happened to me too, you know?
Sure.
Or there was an attempt to happen. Maybe they were one of the guys in right field that threw somebody out.
Inning over. Drew Rarick no longer perfect, but he's got 7 strikeouts. He's got a shutout. We got a good one.
Third inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on base.
Beautiful night just north of Indianapolis. Good-looking game so far. Halfway home. Pending the possibility of going extra innings. North Dakota nothing. Iowa nothing. Top of the 4th.
For North Dakota.
Connor Holm, Drew Rarick, Charlie Kalbrunner. 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup for Mike Rarick, trying to solve Brody Watson, who has been unsolvable to this point.
Kind of a storyline for me, I think, about this Fargo team is they were 3-0 in the North Dakota State tournament. They outscored their opponents 50-0, including 28 runs in the championship game.
True.
Then they beat South Dakota 7-2 to get here. So have they really been tested? This may be the first time that they've been up against it. We'll see how they react to this.
Yeah, it's a big-time test so far. In fact, batted ball so far, just a couple. One by Landon Meyer, the other by Adam Leiniger, both infield outs. There have been a couple of walks. The rest have been strikeouts. 7 for Watson. 7 also for Rarick. .44th pitch.
Cooner behind home plate, not a big guy at all. Watson out on the mound, giving his catcher some time to shake that one off. He caught that on the inside of the leg, it looked like.
Ouch.
Boy, how does he handle him out on the mound?
Off 3-1, a chopper. Would have been a great play. But Brody Watson unable to get Connor home, and that's the first hit of the game for North Dakota.
Oh, and that's how things get started for you. Kind of a bang it into the ground, the lefty out of the box, pretty good speed. Nice play by Watson, barehanding it, trying to get there. And Watson, a little frustrated on the mound, looked over in the dugout, and they're going to come out. I'm not sure he wanted the no-hitter so much that he's frustrated with giving up that hit.
Acting coaches tonight, Danny Watson and Josh Stewart. For Iowa, That's pretty amazing, isn't it, to see a pitcher that affected early in the game?
I don't know if that's the case or not, but I don't know what other reason that a coach would have to go out there and talk with him, but you can visually see his frustration after the guy got the hit. Home down at first base. Got to give him credit for coming out of the box in a hurry. See how he reacts to this.
Good point of the game. Drew Rarick at the plate. Nobody out. Got hit. Well, he didn't react well.
No, and that's some of the frustration, I think, there. You talk about overthrowing a bit in that situation with the frustration. Now there's a runner sitting at second base with no outs.
And in this type of game, you almost look for North Dakota to bunt.
North Dakota third baseman, number 8, Charlie Kalbrenner.
Because the way that Drew Rarick is throwing, a run or two could be ball game. But we'll wait and see. Manager Mike Rarick, the third base coach. Jason Kalbrenner at first base and Chris Meyer in the dugout. Signals right now to the base runners. Kalbrenner struck out to end the first. Big moment for North Dakota. Showing bunt. Ball one. Off the appeal, wisely done by Iowa. Third base umpire Jeff Shuttle raises his right hand. Strike one. Keep the bunt sign on, John?
Yes.
Kalbrenner is showing bunt. This time outside the zone. You know, you watch the body language of Brody, and he's struggling a bit out there, and he shouldn't be.
I noticed it from the first batter that he faced today when he walked him, how frustrated he was with that.
Ball two. Well, perhaps. That's why Josh Stewart came out to talk to him, realizing that even the infield hit might be enough to frazzle him a bit. Got a lot to play for here. He's pitched superbly. 2-1 pitch. Runners going on the drop ball. Now they're at second and third.
Well, I think that caught the home plate umpire. I'm not even sure if Cooner behind the plate even got a glove on that one. Not sure. And that's a ball that's coming up there in the mid upper 70s.
Brody Watson is just throwing lights out tonight.
Yeah, right in the throat protector, too.
John Budnick behind home plate. A tough spot to be in. But somebody that's throwing high school level here, wouldn't you say? Maybe college.
No question.
The pass ball moves runners to second and third with nobody out. Now Iowa in a jam. The count is 3 balls and a strike.
Well, it's not just Coach John Stewart now that went out to the mound to speak with Brody Watson. He's trying to get Alex Stewart, his son, out there. O'Connor, the shortstop, trying to calm him down.
Count is 3 balls and a strike. Second and third, nobody out for North Dakota in a scoreless game in the fourth. The important pitch here for Brody Watson, who sailed through the first 3. Towards short's going to score a run. Runner is out at first, but it's 1-0 North Dakota as Charlie Kalbrenner gets the job done. In the meantime, the important thing is that Maddox O'Connor throws the runner at second base, so he is still at his spot. Boy, they're going to reverse that if there is a challenge.
And there is, and you're right. Thought it was a good play by O'Connor as he looked the runner back, but pretty good speed by Kalbrenner getting down the first base line, and I don't think it got there in time. Now they're going to give up a run and have still a runner in scoring position at second, first and second with no outs. Now do you bunt again in this situation, putting more pressure on the defense?
I don't see why not. And it's pretty obvious, don't you think, there'll be an overturn here?
I agree with you.
That's not even close. So for Charlie Kalbrenner, instead of a ground out, give him a base hit. And an RBI. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Hey, the Fargo cheering section looks pretty strong over there.
Yes, it does. A lot to cheer about here, especially first and second. Again, no outs, and I look for them to put down another bunt here.
Ethan Welk.
Ethan Welk will get a chance here as a pinch hitter. Only one batted ball. Check it, 2 batted balls in the inning, and neither have gotten out of the infield. And yet, it's 1-0, 2 aboard, nobody out. Well, as we saw North Dakota pound the ball the other day, John, this is small ball here in the 4th inning.
Well, whatever it takes, and both of these coaches have said, and we asked them before, your power team, you move guys along, play small ball, and really it's whatever it takes. And you know what? Small ball is what it takes right now. Maybe a 1-0, 2-0 type ball game.
Landon Meyer is going to be the special runner at second base.
Taking over at second base for North Dakota as a special pinch runner, number 2, Landon Meyer.
Ethan Welk will be the pinch hitter. And let's see if he decides to move people along as the signals are coming from the third base coach, Mike Rarick. North Dakota in a great spot here. The jump out big. Strike 1. Well, John, with somebody like Brody Watson, who is so good but puts so much pressure on himself, what's your advice?
Yeah, well, same thing everyone else would tell him too, is just let your abilities play out there. Don't let the emotions get too much involved with it. But maybe that's what makes him good, but it can also really hurt you too.
Up 2 strikes on Ethan Welk. Let's see if the bunt sign is still on. Comebacker. They're going to get it out at first base because of the deflection. Runners down scoring position at second and third. The first out in the inning, I was headed towards center field.
O'Connor looks pretty good at the shortstop defensive-wise. He's able to come up with a play here. Slows this ball down enough to get to O'Connor. It may have helped, it may have hurt too, because if he gets to that ball, maybe steps on the bag for the double play.
Pinch hitting for North Dakota.
Good point.
Number 10, Logan Sullivan.
Logan Sullivan will pinch hit here. Brody Watson, who had 7 strikeouts through 3 innings, could use a strikeout here. Second time through the lineup. You notice anything different as North Dakota's batters have approached Watson?
No, you don't. You really don't notice a whole difference. I mean, they had a couple what you call cheap hits or moving the ball, put some pressure on the defense, and then a hit by pitch, and then things started to slip away quickly for Brody Watson in this Iowa team. But really, when you think about it, 1-0 game right now. He bears down here, gets him out of the inning. They've certainly got the power to come back in this thing.
They'll have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Iowa 4th to the plate. Strikeout, 2 outs. And on the drop third, they elect to throw to first, and that'll score the second run. And it is now 2-0 Fargo.
Now ball gets by the catcher. Hay has to come away from home plate. Right there, you want your pitcher to come cover home plate so he can get the throw from the first baseman. And I don't know if Blake Larson's best throw would have got Meyer down at home plate as he was ready to go immediately.
Boy, it's been a most unusual inning for North Dakota, which has scored twice. Still has not hit the ball out of the infield. What do you think Brody Watson would be on the gun tonight? Upper 70s?
I would say.
This fastball is sizzling. 69 officially on the gun. Last pitch. Trying to end the inning with his 9th strikeout. Good save by Cooner behind home plate. And this will be pitch number 60 for Brody. Inning over. Big inning, though, for Fargo. Well, apparently the count on the scoreboard was incorrect. Because it was listed as 2-2. So we're not done. Now officially 2-2. Brody Watson's liable to throw this 100 miles an hour here. I love the guy's competitiveness, though. Now the 2-2 pitch. Now inning over. Brody Watson is pretty upset. But he'll hit third in the inning, and still time for Iowa. North Dakota strikes first. A huge game here in the Midwest Regional.
Pitch count for Iowa 31 in the inning 22. Game total 63.
For a number of the kids in the Little League World Series, summer continues and will for a while, even though school may be intervening here shortly. Jim Barber, John Gregory, 2-0 North Dakota. Now can Iowa counter? The winner to face Minnesota, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central on Wednesday morning in the winner's bracket. Quite a contrast between Drew Rarick and Brody Watson. Not talking about temperament here, but about the way they throw.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost seems like Drew is 10, 15 miles an hour slower, which I don't think is the case.
Both guys can throw that fastball. Of course, it looks like Watson has a little bit more pop on it, but both have a really good breaking ball, and I think Rarick's ability to control that pitch, and both pitchers mastered him. He's been so efficient in this game.
2 balls, 1 strike.
We're talking about how he throws like his dad did basically back in the day. How much he looks like him, how he delivers like him.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Well, Jason Kalbrenner's got a pitcher of his own in Charlie.
Charlie the same way.
Towards short and into left field. Good start for Iowa in the fourth. Look how excited Maddox O'Connor is. Second hit of the game for the Grandview Little League.
Now batting for Iowa, first baseman, 77, Blake Larson.
Ball hit hard. Meyer really didn't have a chance to get to that. Almost got to knock it down.
Hit number 2 of the game for Iowa. Here's Blake Larson swinging at a changeup 0-1. After Blake Larson, Brody Watson would bat next. First time in 4 innings, Iowa has the leadoff hitter aboard.
Good swing by Larson that time. Just missed that fastball.
Oh, 2. Wild pitch. Runner down to second. Safe. Out. Maddox O'Connor is going to stay there, but if his foot popped off the base, he had it stolen, and then he was tagged.
Let's take a look at this. Did he keep the glove on him? That's going to be the question here. I think his foot did come off the bag, but was the glove on his foot once it came off the bag? Here's the slide, foot up off the bag.
Yep,
yeah,
it's a good call.
I was challenging the out call.
Watch that left foot lift up in the air, and right there I think the glove actually made contact with the foot while it was up in the air and off the bag.
Yeah, it's a left foot we're talking about, right? There's the tag.
Yeah, the other question would be, did the right foot touch the bag at that same time? But I don't think it did.
John Budnick, home plate umpire, has been busy tonight. Call in the field is out at second base, which would be the first out of the inning.
Boy, and if you're one of these umpires, the one thing you can't feel bad about getting these double check, because these plays have been really close.
Maddox O'Connor is out. A terrific throw from Adam Leininger. One out now in the fourth. Blake Larson remains at home plate with a ball and 2 strikes. Iowa will try to restart the rally. That's a good start. Hit hard. Blake Larson aboard with 1 out.
Larson had a good cut at the fastball that he missed earlier. He got another good swing on that. Hit that ball hard, and Sabi did a good job knocking it down. Couldn't get Larson as he made his way down.
Pinch hitting for Iowa, 42, Deshaun Childers.
Deshaun Childers will step to the plate as a pinch hitter. No balls, 2 strikes. Out on strikes, and John, he was hitting for Brody Watson, so what can we draw from that?
I don't know what's going on from the dugout standpoint, but if that's sending a message, but you got a guy that can hit at 350, kind of surprised that was the spot that he hit in. Maybe that's something they do all the time, though. You never know.
Or maybe not.
It's our first opportunity to see him.
Pinch hitting for Iowa, number 12, Cade Byers.
Now Cade Byers. 2 outs. Blake Larson still the runner at first base. There have been 2 hits in the inning. But a caught stealing has eliminated one of the hitters. He has had back-to-back home runs and leading off innings in the state tournament that Iowa dominated. Two-run first inning, the difference. Well, if Watson is being removed from the game, then it's apparent that we're going to be able to have him relax a little bit and settle down and settle in. Ball bounces in, runner will stay. And it's unfortunate. I mean, Brody has pitched very well tonight. Things kind of self-destructed in the 4th, but 2 runs is, well, how many times have you said it? Hardly insurmountable.
No.
But Little League are teaching moments on many occasions. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Now 3-2. If Cade reaches, they will have runners on first and second with an opportunity to tie the game.
I think this game needed a light moment like that.
Hey, why are we showing that picture?
That was great. And a smile, too.
And he draws a walk. All right, Cade.
Maybe that was his thought the whole time. Let's distract him.
Yes.
There's another smile.
Oh,
I love
why
it.
not? Probably
That's
talking over
what I'm
with
talking about.
Gabe Schutzer, and at this age saying, that's the most embarrassing moment of my life.
Yeah, I think maybe he's out there trying to distract him, getting his mind off throwing strikes.
Everybody's coming in to talk to Drew Rarick. Hey, don't fall for that.
No, or maybe let's try it next time we're up. That's good stuff.
I'm not making a change. No, I'm sorry.
Good job, Cade. You know, at this age, how everything is just the worst and most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me, you know. And he recovered nicely, drew a 3-2 walk, and he represents tying run. Base hit would be big right now. Kobe Kunert is scheduled to bat. He gets the gloves on. He's
For
ready to
Iowa,
go.
the catcher, number 5, Kobe Kunert.
Iowa's best scoring threat. Here in the 4th, down 2. Strike 1. Now a smile from Drew Rarick, the pitcher.
Yeah, pretty good cut on that fastball there.
Number 6 hitter in the lineup of Josh Stewart and Danny Watson. Josh serving as the interim manager tonight. Change misses 1-1. Blake Larson, the runner at second. Cade Byers running at first.
And if you're a defender for North Dakota here, you want to knock the ball down, not let it go through to try to save that 1 run. You never know how important that 1 run is going to be in this ball game.
Strong point.
For Iowa, you'd love to be able to pull this to left center field. It's wide open out there as left fielder hugging the left field line, center fielder shading toward right.
That would tie the game. Moment of truth coming up here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0 score, 2 on. Here we go. Strike 3 called. 9th strikeout of the game for Drew Rarick. Perhaps none bigger, John.
No, and he got the emotion here. He got the big cutter, and he knew it. And I love the emotion coming off the field.
4th inning for Iowa.
Pitcher Brody Watson remains in the game. This has been a terrific pitcher's duel up until the 4th inning. Watson dealing and Drew Rarick as well. Matched each other strikeout for strikeout through the first 3. And then some nickel and dime action by North Dakota, running the bases well. Getting a break on a passed ball. And then on the throw down to first on a drop third strike, a second run. So Brody is not out. He was pinch hit for, so let's see how his demeanor is now for inning 5.
Yep.
Still very much anybody's game.
Boy, you think about that pass ball, a third strike that got away from the catcher. Was that the insurance run maybe they need? Still a lot of baseball to play for this Iowa team that's very good at the plate. They just haven't been able to, so far, crack anything, get that first run across.
This is Jake Jaroszewski leading off as a pinch hitter. North Dakota has allowed just 1 run in 9 innings of baseball, winning 15-1 in 5, and now tonight up 2-0. Most competitive game, though, of the 8 we've had so far, certainly. 3 pitches, and Jake out on strikes, 1 out.
Interesting start, too. You notice all 3 pitches, all breaking balls. No fastball at all. I wonder if that was kind of a game plan. Come out and let's not overthrow.
Absolutely.
Let's just throw breaking balls and get these guys out.
That's why you have pitching coaches, right? And mentors.
Absolutely. That's correct. Somebody in the dugout that knows how to maybe settle him down and what's best.
Well, he certainly has some great tools. He's got a ball that moves. He's got a good-looking changeup.
And he looks really good here and composed, too. Good to see that.
Absolutely. Acting managers Josh Stewart and Danny Watson. Bobby with little assistance during innings. 2 strikes. Still snaps at the ball when he gets it back, but that's part of him, right?
5 straight strikes to start the inning.
Goes with the change on 0-2. He grabbed his jersey and just kind of bit on it there. Well, that would help. Brody Watson has struck out 4 in a row.
The North Dakota center fielder, number 7, Jordan Leininger.
11th strikeout today, again on the breaking ball. That's 2 hitters, 2 strikeouts, both with a bunch of curveballs.
Jordan Leininger is hardly a slouch at the plate. He was 4 for 5 in their opening game win, but he has struck out twice tonight. In fact, the Leininger gang is a combined 0 for 4 with a walk. Those guys, you don't get them out very often.
No. And that's the thing Brody Watson has to realize. Because that breaking ball is so good, just like Rarick on the other side, he doesn't have to overpower guys.
It's toward right center field in the gap. Brady shot, cut it down, but in the meantime, stand-up double for Jordan Leininger. You know what? You can't keep a good player down all night like him.
No, those guys can hit. They've done it all year. We talked about both of those brothers have combined for 40 home runs. He doesn't hit a home run here, but gets into scoring position with a nice double.
Now batting for North Dakota,
Facing a guy
number
like
12,
that, you don't
the
want to
first
try to pull the ball, and he
baseman,
hits it
Holmes.
right center field, trying to fire up the guys in that first base dugout.
John, that is his 5th hit in the regional and 8 at-bats. In scoring position for Connor Holm, who started the North Dakota rally rather innocently in the 4th with an infield hit that might have gone 30 feet. Ball and a strike. Looking ahead to the Iowa 5th, bottom of the order. Braden Shutt, Chase Embry, Matthew McCray are scheduled. 7, 8, and 9 batters. May have gone around on that one. He did. Ball and 2 strikes. Scorched to right center field. Up against the fence and over. A ground rule double. And that'll make it 3-0 North Dakota. As the middle of the North Dakota lineup is starting to tee off.
Connor Holm, the lefty, gets the pitch that he likes inside and turns on it. One hopper over the right center field. Good enough to get that run in there, and that other insurance run. Boy, he turned on that. That was good hitting. 2 good at-bats in a row for this Fargo, North Dakota team.
Yeah, I agree. For Jordan Leininger, 5 for 8, and Connor Holm now is 5 for 6. Drew Rarick doesn't have a hit, but he's been on base 4 separate times. Now has some more cushion. Out in front of the plate. Fielded by Watson, no. Runner around third. Now they're going to try to cut him down, and he is safe. You know what's interesting? Facing such a hard thrower like Brody Watson, any type of contact in this game sometimes results in a little number that causes a lot of trouble.
Yep, and that's... Remember their coach talked to us before this ball game. Did you see him kick that ball there? Tried to get him at third base. Good hustle back to the bag. Heads up play by Watson trying to get him, but not in time. But you're right. Remember what he said? We needed productive outs. Productive outs can be just those little dink balls that are out front there. Just make contact, and that's been productive for him tonight.
It's an error of Watson, so the runner's now at the corners, first and third with 2 outs in the 5th. Well, after some small ball demonstration in the 4th, Jordan Leininger and Connor Holm, big time hits in the 5th. We can say this much: if there are other throwers that throw as hard as Brody Watson, they may be a tough out in the losers bracket. Still 6 outs to go, though, for Iowa. And hoping to avoid that very scenario. 82 pitches now for Brody Watson. Runner goes, count 2-2. It's a big out here for Iowa because a base hit would stretch the lead to 5. 3 is going to be tough enough. 5 likely impossible to recover from.
And this will definitely be the last hitter, regardless of what happens for Brody Watson, is he's going to reach the 85 pitch count after this pitch.
Twelfth strikeout of the game. But back-to-back doubles by Jordan Leininger and Connor Holm have stretched the North Dakota lead to 3. That's Holm with a blast up and over the fence.
Visit Central Region's website at littleleague.org/central to get information on each team and view live game scoring.
Good job, fellas. You can keep dancing over there. We're paying attention. Looking for training and information for coaches, umpires, league volunteers, and parents. Get free backyard tips, practice plans, drills, videos, and more. Visit littleleagueuniversity.org today. John, you tried to get me to do that during one of our breaks, and that's not happening.
What, you mean wear your sunglasses upside down?
Besides, those guys are better.
And pinch hitting for Iowa to lead off the bottom of the fifth. Number 1, Aiden Bennett.
Pitching line for Drew Rarick. Shutout baseball through 4 with 9 strikeouts.
60 pitches through 5.
Wow.
Or through 4.
But he's in position to go through 5 and maybe 6.
That's right. Been very efficient. That's what you need.
Aiden Bennett trying to get it started for Iowa, which got its leadoff hitter on in the 4th, but failed to score. Behind a couple of strikes. One out.
Challenge with the fastball up in the zone and got the strikeout. Adam Leininger behind the home plate. We mentioned earlier he was not a catcher before this year and really has developed so fast behind home plate. We've seen his arm, his ability to get guys out, but block balls, he does a lot of good things for being a catcher for only a year.
This is the first base coach, Gabe Schutzer, at the plate. Substituting tonight in that position with the manager gone. Behind 2 strikes and nothing. Loser this game, quick turnaround. Coming back tomorrow, 1 afternoon at 1 o'clock to face Missouri. Tomorrow will be Elimination Day. 4 elimination games in the Midwest and Great Lakes. Drew Rarick has struck out 2 in every inning, at the very least.
He is feeling it out there, too. A lot of confidence. He's getting the ball, knows what he wants to throw, and delivers strike after strike. Look at that hacker. Again, 12-6, right over the top.
Trenton Tharp will bat. Pinch hitting roll here. Winner of this game gets a day off and will face Minnesota in a showdown Wednesday morning. Michigan and Indiana will be in the other headliner that day in the Great Lakes. All teams undefeated. So tomorrow we'll begin with Illinois, Ohio. They'll be in the Great Lakes. In the Midwest, 1 o'clock, Missouri against the loser of this game. 4 o'clock in the Midwest, Kentucky, Kansas. 7 o'clock in the Great Lakes, Kentucky and Wisconsin. Well, let me check that. I've got Kentucky playing in both regions. That can't help. Can't happen. But Drew Rarick, in the meantime, has been a rare find in this tournament. He has struck out the side twice, and they're 3 outs away from advancing. It's actually Nebraska against Kansas. Well, that was stupid. I'm going to be like Brody Watson. I'm going to hit myself in the head here.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put him in Kansas.
Yeah, Nebraska, Kansas it would be. When losers of game 2 and 3. John, don't let me pass along my affliction to you here.
No, not at all.
I'll try to repeat that. Wow, 90-minute game, man. Even less.
Yes, sir. Re-entering all 3, and I've actually got 40 going to pitch.
Think Iowa has a run in?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
but maybe not against him. I think he's throwing too much confident.
Defensively for Iowa,
for
re-entering the game in right field, number 6,
many
Brayden
pitches for
Schutt.
Rarick?
Re-entering the game in left field, number 20, Jace Embry.
70, okay.
Re-entering the game in
So
center
Rarick
field,
could
number
finish it.
2,
He's
Matthew
got 70.
McRae Jr.
Yep, new pitcher.
Also a pitching change.
Stewart.
Moving from the mound to third base, number 18, Brody Watson. And moving from third base to the mound, 40, Alex Stewart.
Alex Stewart is the new Iowa pitcher. He can get that fastball up to the mid-70s. Good curveball, solid change. Trying to hold the fort for Iowa and hope it can rally with the top of the order in its last at bat in the 6th. He is the son of Josh Stewart, one of the coaches tonight.
Leading off the top of the 6th for North Dakota, number 2, the shortstop, Landon Meyer.
Alex is the tallest player in this team, turned 13 on May 16th. Landon Meyer leads off the North Dakota 6. Our lineup tomorrow, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, Illinois against Ohio. Game 2, the loser of this against Missouri. Game 3, 4 o'clock, Nebraska, Kansas. And game 4 of a quadruple header tomorrow, Kentucky, Wisconsin. All elimination games. And all, John, weather permitting.
I thought maybe we'd get some rain this evening, but nice right now. Maybe it'll come in later, but maybe it'll come in and get out of here before the morning.
Be nice, wouldn't it? Landon Meyer starts the 6th with a walk. This game was scoreless until the 4th when North Dakota scored twice. Then added a third run in the 5th on a counter home double. Andrew Kankelfritz, 2 for 4 in the tournament, 2 RBIs, a triple.
Stewart having a little problem early finding the strike zone. His first opportunity to be on the mound too in this situation here. Just like Watson, you wondered, does he try to overthrow a bit early? Doesn't seem to be.
Connor Duwong is set to lead off the Iowa 6th. Then Maddox O'Connor and Blake Larson. They are combined 2 for 6 tonight. One of those hits an infield variety. Right in front of the plate. Good sacrifice. In fact, an even better sacrifice as on the bunt. Andrew Kankelfritz beat the throw. It's happened a couple times tonight.
He has got good speed. That was a good play by Kunert behind home plate. He got out there. Watson was in on it too, but Kunert makes the play, picks it up. Another bang, bang play down at that first base bag.
Well, would you challenge?
And regardless if I would or not, I guess I would in this situation. I mean, this is kind of do or die. You want to get as many runs on the board as you can. You want to prevent as many from getting on there. So challenge makes sense to me.
For North Dakota, runners at first and second, nobody out. Landon Meyer, the runner at second, off the base hit by Andrew Kankelfritz, his 3rd in the regional. He's at first. Now Bo Meyer, let's see if the small ball continues, John. Ball 1.
You're right. They're trying to get one more, maybe two if they can, but get guys into scoring position. One way you can do it was with a pass ball too. You got to be good behind the plate here.
Ball and a strike. Tommy Simon scheduled to bat ninth and scheduled to bat next. Ball gets away, runners on the move. That's just as good as a bunt.
Yep, that's what I was talking about. Sometimes as a catcher, and he had no chance on that one. You get a ball and you get a guy in front of you, not used to seeing a guy turn around and bunt in front of you. It's a different look, and sometimes it can distract you, but that's not the reason that ball got by him. That was just a wild pitch.
Two balls, two strikes. Well, do you bring the infield in further now? Already facing a 3-run deficit.
Yeah, I think you have to. It's at least on the corners you have to bring him in, but they're playing about even with the bases.
Alex Stewart gets out number one.
Big out, I think, for Alex Stewart to kind of slow things down a bit. Nice fastball down in the zone here. He gets him reaching for it. No chance for that.
Tommy Simon 0 for 1. Adam Leinecker bats next as we get back to the top of the North Dakota order. Tommy Simon would like to be the President of the United States.
Got to have some goals. Not bad. Gonna go big, right?
Sure. That'll score a run. 4-0 North Dakota.
Productive outs. That's what Mike Rarick told us before he wanted guys to have productive outs. This is as productive as you ever want here. Nice play defensively, but guess what? You pick up a run here, and that's an important run, or could be in this ball game, and that's the productive outs that he talked to us about before this game.
It's interesting, John. 3 of the 4 runs have been in innings, but the ball has not gotten out of the infield. The only long ball inning consisted of back-to-back doubles by Jordan Leinecker and Connor Holm. That was in the 5th. Top of the order game for the Iowa batting lineup in the 6th. Where now, Grandview Little League must get 4. Or maybe more, depending how this ends. Adam Leinecker is 0 for 2, 0 for 5 in the regional, but he's reached on 3 walks. He has scored twice. And he's a pitch away from getting on base again. So what you want from a productive leadoff hitter, a solid on-base percentage. 3-1. Toward first base, unassisted, and off the dive by Blake Larson, inning over. North Dakota gets 1, last chance for Iowa.
In the top of the 6th inning for North Dakota, 1 run on 1 hit.
Drew Rarick, the manager's son, threw 5 and struck out 12. Has thrown 70 pitches, just 10 in the last inning, 9. Resulted in strikes and 3 strikeouts. Seems to be getting better as the game goes along.
Yeah, confidence keeps building. That last inning was something special for him, and he'd like to have one of those now. He's got about 15 pitches left in this arsenal before they have to make a change, so he'd like to get there before that final hitter, possibly.
He has struck out the last 4. Connor Duong is 0 for 2. The loser comes back at 10 tomorrow morning and will face Missouri. Check that. That'll be 1 o'clock for that game. Illinois, Ohio will kick it off at 10.
Ball, that's up.
2 balls and a strike. Pitch count at 73. Getting close to the limit. From the stretch, Rarick. Now 2-2.
And for Iowa, boy, wouldn't you like to get that number up to 85, somehow force this guy out of the game here, and maybe, just maybe, you get to a reliever that has a hard time throwing strikes and allow you to somehow tie this thing up at least.
That's Iowa's hope here. Off the change toward right field. Dropping to the fence. Connor Duong on a race to third with a triple. Good start for Iowa, the last of the 6th, and its last at bat.
Good piece of hitting there as he takes it the opposite way, drives it over the right fielder's head, and Bo Meyer out there. But I think this may be a good time to take a walk to the mound as you see that ball carry over his head. Drew Rarick, no worries about that guy at third base. He means nothing down there.
Good point. Maddox O'Connor, that's the concern now at the plate. Up in the air toward right field. 3 converging. Caught by the second baseman. 1 out. Tommy Simon able to get in position and record the out. That could have been trouble for North Dakota.
No question about it. He made that play look routine, and that's not an easy play to make over the shoulder.
No, sir.
The Iowa first baseman, 77, Blake Larson.
Now Blake Larson as the pitch count reaches 76. Brody Watson would hit next. Going the opposite way, 0-2.
Well, it's a tough time of night to see fly balls that are hit up in like that last one that Simon was able to haul in. You take your eyes off it with this type of sky. This very difficult to see. Communication again important, guys, pointing balls out that are up in the air.
Up the middle. Nice play with a shortstop, 2 outs. London Meyer can cover some ground. North Dakota and out away. 2 good plays by the infield in this inning, John.
Yes. 2 balls that really could have fallen in. And boy, he made that play. The glove was behind him when he made it. Turns his body and throws a strike over to first base. Again, a play that's very difficult that they make look easy.
Well, isn't it fitting that pitcher matches up against pitcher here? Starting pitcher, anyway. And Brody Watson. Chance for Drew Rarick to close out the game. Strike 1. 4-1 our score. Iowa still needs 2 base runners to have an opportunity. Now 2 balls and a strike. Good patience by Brody Watson. Possibly Drew Rarick's last batter. Toward left field. And now Iowa down to its last strike.
Isn't it something? I mean, when you start looking at it now, the drama builds a little bit more just because he's at a pitch count. You know, it's not about the game being close here at 4-1, but do they have to take him out? He's got one more pitch to try to, or if something happens with Watson here, he can face one more batter, but it has to happen on this pitch.
Drew Rarick can finish the game. Shakes off the first sign, shakes off the second. Now the 2-2. How about some more drama?
Officially the last guy he's going to face today, the guy at the plate.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
He gets on, there'll be another pitcher.
That's not going to happen. Game over. And a gem by Drew Rarick.
In the bottom of the 6th for Iowa, 1 run on 1 hit, nobody left.
And that's a great look right there. Dad-son opportunity to get a hug, and Rarick kind of bows his head and almost shy that he pitched such a great game today. And what an effort by him tonight. Rarick on the mound with, what, 13 strikeouts? And what an effort he had tonight. Fastball was working, but the breaking ball was special for him.
And for North Dakota, its 2nd win in the tournament without a loss. We'll face Minnesota on Wednesday in the winner's bracket. In the meantime, as we take a look at the Midwest and North Dakota's success, first loss for Pittsburgh of Kansas. That means they'll come back and play Nebraska in an elimination game tomorrow. So 4 games tomorrow, all are win-or-go-home games. We will start at 10 in the morning with Illinois, Ohio, followed by Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, and Kentucky, Wisconsin. For John Gregory, Jim Barber, thanks for being part of all of our coverage today. See you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central.